Hello everyone on YouTube and welcome to a new tutorial. This time I'm skipping for a while on the kitchen tutorial because while I was making this tutorial about the kitchen, I actually figured out that there are many little things I can teach you on like showing you tools and stuff, so it will be easier for you to actually work with Maya or first getting know those tools. So this is the meaning of this tutorial. It's to show you a few of the tools you have and few of the things you can do, like hotkeys or any shortcuts or any stuff I'm working with while I'm modeling in Maya. So first is to make an overview about all the patching and any split tools we have. So I will start with the cube. Okay, this will be the figure that we are going to work with in order to show you the abilities of few of the tools we have in Maya. So first, when you like to take a shape like this and you would like to cut it into two equal pieces, okay, not as just like cutting it or just like divide, make an edge loop. Usually what you can do is hold down the shift, okay, and at the same time right click on your mouse and choose insert edge loop, okay. You also can choose split, okay. Sorry about this jumping menu, but it's very sensitive menu, so you really need to choose your way very fast. Like if you like to insert edge loop while you're still holding the shift and right click on your mouse, just put your mouse over the insert edge loop, okay, and release it. So now you will get this arrow, and with this arrow you can choose one of the edges that, like this, if I will point my mouse over this edge, it will create an edge like those, the sides one, okay. And while you are clicking on your left mouse key button, you should hold it until you decide where you want to put this line, okay, this edge loop. And that way it's like manually choose where you want to put it. But what if we want Maya to tell us exactly where is the middle in between those two edges? So I turned around to this view, and now I will choose this edge, okay. I'll hold down the control button this time, and at the same time I will right click and choose edge ring utilities, which is the left bottom side, okay. Now when I chose it, I didn't release the mouse yet. I got new menu, so this time I want to choose to edge ring and split, which is the right bottom side, okay. So now I'm choosing this and releasing. Now Maya creates automatically an edge loop at the middle of those edge lines, okay. So this way you can cut things into very equal size, and we can do the same over here just to show you how much this tool is helping. You see, I chose this edge and now it cut it to two. Now I will choose this edge this time and hold down the control, right click, and it will give me a nice half cut of those. And that way you can create something that will be a draw or something, you know. Okay, so there are many features like this inside. You saw the menu. There's many other options. Be sure to explore them, okay. to get familiar with them. Now I will show you another thing. Let's say I have this cube, okay, and I already like chose, I want to like cut it in those squares into two, okay. So this time I can work with a tool that's called split. Okay, wait, something, not always sure where it sits. So okay, interactive split tool. Okay, if I will catch this, and you see that the mouse cursor switched to an arrow, okay, and whenever I put my mouse over the object, it shows me orange dots. Okay, so let's say I want to cut this square into two, like this, into half pieces. So I'm choosing this point, okay, and I just clicked once, and then I can choose wherever I want to put the new the end of this line, okay. But I want to cut it like this, so I will put another click over here and then another click over here, okay. So that way you keep the vertices like attached together, like it's one big piece, but it's still connected to the other vertices that's in the middle. And whenever you want to finish, to close this line, you just need to hit the enter key, okay, and that will close the line. But you really need to be sensitive with this tool, because sometimes it can draw lines in areas that you don't see, okay. So always make sure you before you close the line, to turn around to see that everything is not touched or whatever, and then you will know that you are okay and it's safe to hit the enter button. Alright, so now let's say we want to remove few of our faces, like this face, okay, or this face. Okay, now I'll show you two different ways to do this. So the first way will be to right click on your object, edge, and let's say we want to cover this top empty area, okay. So you can choose this face, shift select this face, go over mesh and choose fill hole, okay. Now somehow Maya didn't make a cover top for it, and that's probably because we have here this middle vertices, and that can cause a problem. So let's say I will let me try this first again, shift mesh fill hole. Okay, Maya needs to know maybe all four edges for this cover, for this fill hole function. So you see I'm trying and still I don't get the result that I like, so that means that Maya can't handle this hole. But let's give it an easier hole. Let's choose, I just deleted one face over here, and we will do the same here to see if it's work. So mesh fill hole, and you can see that Maya do what she needs to do. So as I said, it's probably because of this function that I made over here, the split cut I made here. So this is the cause of this. But how can we do this even if Maya doesn't want to fill the hole? So there is another tool which is let me see, one moment. Okay, happened to polygon tool. Okay, now whenever you choose this one, you can choose this boundary. Okay, you click once on the edge you would like to start work with, and then Maya gives you all the options that you can in order to finish this. So the next click will be here, and the next after this will be here, okay, or here. Let me get closer. Alright, I have some issue here, but let's do this again. I'm choosing this one and then this one, okay, and hit enter. Okay, so append to polygon tool is almost the same. I think that maybe because of the last issue that we have with this line, we had the same issue here. So let's take a regular cube just to see how it works better. I'll make a nice cube, choose face and delete it, and we will choose the append to polygon tool again. So this time I'm choosing this edge and then this edge, okay, because they are like facing together, so Maya knows that you need to cover all this empty space. Then hit enter and that will be closed. Okay, now what about the vertices? Something in most of the tools in Maya, most of them are like knows that they have to connect the vertices point, but there are a few tools that doesn't do it automatically and you have to do it by yourself, like the fill hole. Maya knows to connect the dots. In append to polygon tool, Maya knows also to connect those vertices points. But there is one more tool that acts the same but still doesn't do the job. So let me see, where is it? One moment. Yeah, create polygon tool. Okay, so if I choose this create polygon tool and wait, I didn't select any object, so it's kind of strange. Okay. Sorry about it. Now I'll show you what I mean. Okay, when you want to work with create polygon tool, the first thing you need to do is first go over shading and choose to see the wireframe. Okay, sorry, wireframe on shaded. This is what we need. Okay, sorry, here is it, wireframe on shaded. Now, even though you don't have the points, okay, let's say I want to delete this face and I want to work with this polygon in order to with this create polygon tool. Okay, so now whenever I choose create polygon tool, I can't see those lines, those edges, okay, lines, because I don't know, somehow Maya just removed them, and then what you have to do is actually go on and choose wireframe and shaded, so at least you have those lines so you can know where they are. Now the next thing to do is to choose this magnet here with this little bluish ball. That means you are snap to point. So if you click on this and you want to work with this tool, create polygon tool, now when I will start drawing my polygon tool with my polygon tool, it will snap to the nearest point that I'm pointing to it. So you see, I clicked once, so it drew a point over here. The next point I want to be here, so you do start to drawing the polygon. Okay, you see, start to cover up, and then you can finish it and choose enter, hit enter to close the the shape. But as I told you, Maya will not connect the dots, okay? So you will have to do it manually. Let me just center the pivot for this, and you can see that whenever I taking this face now, oh sorry, don't forget to turn off the snap to points, because then you will get this strange movements. Okay, see, now the face is here and it's not connected to the entire shape, and this is not what we want. So I will undo those, and then you can start right click on this face and then choose this vertex point, and then right click on this object, choose vertex, and connect them together with merge. Okay, so edit mesh and merge. But sometimes you see it's not connecting, and you have to know how to do this. Okay, so there is a problem, and the problem is because these are two different pieces, two different parts, this mesh polygon and this mesh polygon. And if you like to connect them, you first need to combine them. So you go over mesh, combine, and now they will act like one unit, right? Because this is one piece. But they are not still one piece. Let me show you what I mean. I will choose this vertex point, and you see, whenever I pull it up, you can see that it's not connected. So what you can do is actually, well, here you see it's not connected. So it just acts like it's connected, but it's not, because I chose both of them together. So this is it gives you illusion that maybe they are connected, but trust me on this, they are not. So then you can use your merge vertex tool, okay, and that you can start, choose this point, click on it, click and hold, and then drag to the point you like to it to be connected, okay, and release. You see, now they are connected. Now we will do the same over here and the same over here, and because those are like very close to each other, try to do your best, or maybe do the same. First bring it up and then merge them. And now let's check what we've done, and you can see they both act like one piece. Okay, so this about those tools, and it's very useful. You need to know them, you need to get familiar with tools like that, because somewhere along the way you should start work with them in order to get your designs looks better and fix them if there are any geometry issues. Those tools doing a great job, and that's about those tools. Now there may be plenty of things I can show you, but let's say, like, okay, these are like the poke face. Okay, you can catch a face and choose to poke it. Okay, poke face, where it is, somewhere here, the mesh, I think. Poke face, poke. Here is. Okay, so probably can't see what I'm doing, so let me first move it here, choose this face and go over mesh and poke face. Okay, so what it's basically do is like trying to connect all the face vertices together with edges in between of them, okay, like subdivisions or whatever you call it, okay, those lines here. There are many things, there are many features here that you can explore and find new things or ways to work with, but let's continue with this because there are a few more things I want to show you. So the next thing will be to duplicate this item. Okay, now whenever you like to duplicate an item, you just choose it, okay, and Control D to duplicate it, and then you use the move tool to bring it outside. Okay, so if I will Control D again on it, then it will duplicate it again. Now if you do Shift F after a few, sorry, not Shift F, I'm not sure how it works on Windows. I think it's Control F maybe. Let me check again. Okay, I'm duplicating it, and I'm trying to give a almost similar space in between them, and then I'm using the Control F. No, okay, sorry. This tool is not always working. I'm not sure why, but you will see in a moment what I'm trying to show you. I'm duplicating it, and I'm duplicating it again and again, and then no. No. Okay, so now I'm clicking Shift D, okay, and it starts to duplicate it in the same direction I gave it. Okay, it's a little bit strange what I'm showing you right now, but you need to get familiar with this because this is very good when you start do like brick walls. You don't have time to find out the middle in between them, so you start duplicate. Again, we will show you how. You choose like an item, okay, you do Control D to duplicate it again, duplicate it again, and after about 3 or 4 times you can start do Shift duplicate, and it will start to do to give the distance in between them, okay, while it's duplicating it. And this is very smart because you can get rid of the unequal distance in between those and work with only what Maya does, and that way it's easy to start like doing brick walls or anything. See, now Maya is doing, yeah, even after one duplicated item it starts to work this option. So Shift D in order to do things like that, so it will keep the same distance, and then it's much easier to duplicate things. Test it, try it, it will help you a lot. You don't know how much I love this tool, and I'm not working with it, so sometimes I forget the hotkeys to do things like this, but I'm sure you will love this tool. Also, there is another thing you can do. Let's say you are like starting to use merge vertex tool. Yeah, no, not merge vertex, it's not a good example. Let's say something like yeah, like the extrude tool. Okay, so I will create another cube in the middle there. Let me see. Okay, now you can see this cube, and let's say we want to extrude this face, okay, but we don't want to use every time to go with your mouse over the extrude or over the menu and choose extrude. So what we can do is start by clicking once on the extrude, start extruding, and then choose Y again. Okay, click on, oh sorry. Oh, okay. Well, what basically I try to do is Maya remembered the last tool that you are using. So if you used an extrude tool or whatever, I don't know, like merge vertex tool, or I don't know, whenever you tap on your Y letter on your keyboard, it's just it will bring you back to the same tool. So for example, I'm trying to extrude it, but somehow when I click on Y, it brings me back to the merge vertex tool. So apparently this is what happened. Maya remembered that I used the merge vertex tool, and then she's like bring it back to the scene so I can work with. So neither of them was good example, but just remember that tapping on Y can always save you time and tons of time, and bring you back the tool that you last worked with. Okay, you can also see in my menu whenever I'm scrolling, wait 1 second. Whenever I'm scrolling, okay, no, it doesn't work somehow. Let's try like merge. I'm not sure. Let's try merge. Okay, you see that whenever I open the menu, the merge is highlighted in blue. Okay, until now I touched it. So that means that this is the last tool I used from this menu. Also, it can be a fill hole or whatever. See, this is the last tool. So this is what Maya remembers. She remembers that you use this tool and she highlights it for you. Okay, so this is another thing you should know. Remember to tap the Y key to bring back the last tool you work with. Another things what we can do is let's see. Let me see what else. Yeah, what about the extract? This is very useful tool. I'm sure we talked about it. Let me first uncheck the wireframe unshaded because I don't need it. Okay, so we have this shape, amazing shape, and what about if I like to do something like insert a hedge loop over here, okay, and another one over here. Now, whenever I want to like smooth things, you can use the 3 button. So if you will tap on 3 on above your letters, it will make it smoother like this. Okay. Now, in most cases, when you like to bring it back, first tap on 1. Okay, 1, 2, and 3 will bring you this smoothness to your object, but you can choose 1 or 3. Okay, and then it will appear in front of you. Okay. Now, sorry, I had a Skype message. Now, if you choose those, like you like to smooth those faces over here, and I will first choose them. Okay. Yeah, I choose them. Oh, sorry. Okay, now I can go over Mesh and choose Smooth, and it will smooth it, but it won't smooth it as I smooth it by tapping on the 3. You see, that looks much more smooth. So in most cases, what you do like to do in this case, you would like to cut these faces from the entire shape by going over Extract. Okay, so now we have 2 different objects from the same object. Okay, you can see it's not connected anymore. Okay, and then you can apply the 3 to it, so it will get smoother. But you see what happened here? When you like to make it still that it will fit to this squarey things, what you need to do is actually add one more edge loop before the end of this shape. So that way, if you will do, it will try to keep it. Okay, this is very aggressive smoothness, so it won't work very well, but you can add more edge loops, okay, to this object, so it will stay squarey at the bottom, like here and here and here maybe, and here maybe, and maybe entirely the entire shape. Let's see what will happen now when I will smooth it. Okay, so you see, it still get the same smoothness, while I did add many edge loops where I didn't supposed to, but the basic idea was to make sure that at the base of this shape it will stay almost the same as this square thing. So now you can maybe connect them, like mesh, combine them, and you see that it's still the 3 applied to the 3 smoothness, the 3 smoothness. Okay, I'm a little bit confused. Okay, let's try this again. The 3, while you're tapping the 3 and you make this shape smooth, and then you combine those two, what you actually told Maya is to apply the smoothness also to the cube, and this is what we don't want. We just want to some way bring those two pieces in order to give them the look that they are still connected. So unfortunately I didn't touch that much. What I'm most of the time do is just trying to adjust the connection spot in between them and make it look like they are connected. Okay, in most cases this is what most of people will do. I think I didn't find my answer for that, but this is good actually when you like to create smoothness inside an object. You probably need to do this every now and then, and I don't know, I'm not sure. It really depends on you, what you are doing, but at least you know one way how to make things at the same object, that part of them will be smooth and part of them will be like hard edges. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial, and I hope it maybe gave you a little bit sense of idea of how things work with those tools. There are probably plenty things that I can explain, but I prefer to do them inside my tutorials, and maybe sometimes I will create some more tutorials like this one in order to sharpen your knowledge about those tools. But for now I think it's more than enough, because these are the basic tools that I'm working with. So I figure out that it will be nice to make a separated tutorial so you can get things to be cleared for you, and that's it. So have a nice day, hope you enjoy it, and if you like to know any other things, I will be more than happy to explain them to you. Just leave me a message, and that's it. So see you for now, bye, and see you at the next tutorial. Bye. Hello everyone on YouTube, and welcome to a new 3D Artcore tutorial, and this time we will talk about the selection tool. Just in like 2 minutes ago I was getting this answer about how I chose a few faces, and apparently this subject is so frustrating for some people, you know, they are trying to select face by face, or you know, sometimes they're missing one, or all of a sudden they are like missing all of them together after they selected them. And I know I'm familiar with this issue, and probably you will see me when I'm modeling just selecting them one by one, or I have some other shortcuts method like grabbing half cut of the sphere and then hold down the control and mark the area that I don't want them to be selected. So this is how usually I work and how I prefer. Although there are options in how to select things much more efficient. So let's talk about this. So what I've created here for you is nothing too fancy. It's just a cube and a sphere that have been combined together, and because this object is like created by two different objects, polygons, I will show you how can you select only the cube, but not in this way that I will select them like this, and then, you know, I choose faces and select them like this and say, okay, that's fine with me. This is not the point here. The point here is to show you how can you do this, but for more complicated polygons like the sphere here. Okay, so there are, as I told you, few methods, few different tools to do this, and we will just watch few of them. Okay, so the first one is actually the most common one, is just hold down the control and the shift, sorry, and select them one by one, right? This is very pain when it comes to different objects topology, like this one, the sphere itself. And usually when I told you like grab this line, so you have to click on this one and shift click this one, double like tap double time on this face in order to create a loop for these faces. Okay, now the reason I'm doing it like that way is because the second face I'm choosing is like the direction that I want to loop. Okay, this is why it's important to make two selection. One is the first one and the other one is for the direction. You see? So if I will do this here, it will grab those. If I will do this here, it will grab those. Now sometimes when you like to choose if you like to choose like these and then the other row of faces like here, if I will click here double time, so tap double time, this is what will happen. And in order to avoid this, you can undo that by Control Z. Okay, for users of Mac it's Option Z, and you can unselect this cube, okay, this face. You can hold down the shift, select it, and it will unselect it, or you can use the control to unselect it. Basically the control is what it's the function that will unselect the faces you order the mouse to, or Maya to. So now I will grab this face, like tapping on it on top of it twice. Then it will select the other loop, and you can then select again this face, so both of the lines are selected. Now if you would like to add another, the same thing, you will need to remove one face, and I'm adding one face here, okay, and then I will twice tap on this face to select those. Now always there should be some empty space between them. You see, this is why I unselected this face. Okay, so this is one method on how to select those. It really depends on your what you try to do. You can just select them that way. That's okay if you do it correctly. Okay, now the next thing is to grab this cube that we talked a few minutes ago. Let's say I want to grab only the cube, okay? Because the cube, I know that this is that was individual polygon, and because of that, I know that I can choose it only it, okay, without the sphere. So in order to do this, you can do this as I told you, like this. You can just mark them all like this or one by one, but you can click on one face, hold down the control, right click and choose grow selection. So now you will get all of them. Okay, now if I will do this over here to the sphere, choose one face, hold down the control and do grow selection, this is what will happen. It will choose only the nearby faces here. So you can just continue in doing this, hold down the control, grow selection, and you see where it goes. Now the next thing is to use your keyboard. Let's say, for instance, no, you know what, before that, let's say I select one face and I will hold down the control, right click and choose to shell. Okay, this is common option for UV editor. Okay, we use it on basically on the UV editor, but it also applies to faces. So you can just choose it and it will just grow the selection for the entire object. You see? Okay, you can also go over this face and hold down the control and choose to path. Okay, to face path. Okay, so to face path, it's like the same thing. Okay, you see what it brings you? It just selected the entire cube. If we will do this over here, so there is no path here, so it may only choose two directions. You see? Great. So now let's see another way to do this. Let's say I'm choosing these, okay, these here, okay, and I want to do the same to path. So the path here will be that way. Okay, I'm not sure why it acts like that, but this is some problematic area. So still hold on to control to shell, or just try to see what it will give you. The point here is if I want to select them all, okay, or to grow the selection, there are shortkeys to this function. So I've downloaded just a simple keyboard because I don't have the opportunity to apply to the videos later on all those features that most common screen recorder have. So what you basically need to do is select your face, okay, hold down the shift, okay, and then use one of those two keys here. See those two in the middle between the question mark and the M. Okay, so if you hold down the shift and you do this, look what will happen. I will just choose this face and you can see I'm growing the selection using them. Now after you, okay, so that's very nice. Let's try this here, see what happened. just grow the selection, and this is very helpful. Now, there are more ways to select. You can use the lasso tool, which is here. Okay, you can use it, just draw some line, and whatever you will do, it will grab them. Right? Okay. Now, also there is this tool setting. If you will double click on this arrow, your selection tool, you can choose not to select the faces on the other side of the sphere. For instance, if you will choose camera based selection here, okay, so if I will choose all of those right here, you see those aren't selected. So only what your eyes can see, that's what will be selected. So this is very helpful. That way you know that you ain't gonna accidentally choose any other faces. But as you see sometimes there are errors, some errors, or I don't know what. Also, there is our other tool, which is the paint selection. You can take the brush here. Okay, this is the brush. Choose whatever brush size or hardness you like. Okay, and you can start. And you can scale it. So scale it to something normal, about 300 here. I think it's normal. So now you can just paint whatever faces you would like. So you can see it will only apply to whatever you select, and that's a little bit tricky because the brush size is very affecting the selection. You need to be very you see, sometimes it's selecting, sometimes it's not, so you need to know how the brush size acts, and that way select whatever you like. And I think that this is pretty much it. There's nothing more to add to this subject. Oh, by the way, sorry, there is one more thing. There is other feature which is like you can see it more in like ZBrush, but it's also here. I know it's somewhere here. I just need to find it. Yeah, the reflection. Okay, the reflection is very, very useful for people who like to model things and they want the things to be symmetrical. So, for instance, I will use some other tool right now. I will use the scalped geometry tool. Okay, so if I would like to start, using this, I will need to. By the way, it's related to the selection tool. So whatever you will do, changes you will apply here, those changes will be applied also to your sculpting tool. So yeah, you can click twice on the selection tool, this sculpting tool. Just select whatever you want. You want the object to be in object mode, because otherwise you can't really do something for it. And you do want also reflections, I think. I'm not sure if it's the same thing. I think a little bit confused. Let's say if I will do it over here, let's see. No, it didn't apply to the other side, but I know that in for the selection tool it will be applied. So let's say we did apply the reflections, and then we can just choose this face here, and you can see that also the face here has been selected. Okay, so if I will choose this, okay, it's like there is imaginary cut here somewhere, which tells Maya what how to act to your selection. And something is not working properly right now. I do want it to be for the selection to do the same thing that I asked. Tap on F8. Not sure what this is. Let's see. Faces, face, and reflections. Somehow the reflection is not working. So, still yet, no. I'm not sure what the cause of this, but it seems that I won't be able to explain much about it. Yeah, it doesn't work. It seems that it doesn't work. I'm not sure what I did here. Let's see, maybe I have some other options. Set tool, then go back to reflection, and then choose this face or this face. Nope, still yet it doesn't do any changes. I'm not sure why. I really not sure why. It could be a bug. Maya always have bugs, and I can do nothing about it. But I hope you understand the principle of this, and it will help you in the future while you're trying to model things. Apparently many people are having some kind of trouble with this subject, so I hope that this tutorial will help you in order to expand your knowledge. And that's it. So have a nice day. See you soon with new tutorials, and bye.